this is a core principle for marketers to actually be successful, is this concept of trust. And this idea that people buy from people they trust, and people trust people like themselves. And so as marketers and as brands, we have to show people that we are like them. And so again, that sense of falling in love with their problems, falling in love with their solutions and their success, that really helps to build that trust. And as we think about this in the age of AI, there is a lot of sense of doing more faster and cheaper, but not necessarily doing it better. And so this idea that we can just bombard the internet and by association people with more content doesn't necessarily help us build more trust, because we're actually getting further and further away from humans connecting with humans. And I think this is a trend that started as more marketing became digital marketing. And so with the rise of the internet, it's like, we can scale, we can target. Okay, well, if we can target, we need to target very specifically. Well, if we're going to target very specifically, we need to track every single thing. And this dollar has to immediately be applicable to, $2 out or $3 out, whatever it is. And so we've put all of these tools and dashboards and technology between us and the audience. And so we've actually gotten further and further away from the humans. And so I think this is something that the more prevalent AI becomes, the more important that human connection actually is. And so there's a lot of great ways for AI to help us be more efficient and scale. But the thing that we have to still keep in mind is that humans buy from humans. They trust people like themselves. And so building that trust is really the key as we think about designing all of our marketing programs, goals, strategies, and tactics. Remove all of your learn more CTAs. Learn more doesn't tell me anything. What happens when I click that link or I click that button? Am I going to get pricing? Am I going to register for a webinar? Am I going to log into a product? Like, I don't know what happens when I click that link. And so that's one small way that we break the trust. We imply to people, oh no, it's fine. We're not gonna force you down a buy intent path. See, you're gonna learn more. And then as soon as you click it, it pops up with a form to contact sales or book a demo or something like that, right? So shift your CTAs to be exactly what you mean. Use transparent CTAs. So when you think of this journey, giving people the option not to buy, because they may not actually be on a buying journey. They may just be truly wanting to learn. They may be a job candidate. They may be a strategic partner. So giving them the option not to buy by having those specific intents. So register for free or read the blog, watch a video. That's something that helps you really match the audience intent with action and build trust through clear CTAs. So that's an easy thing you can do today to build more trust, improve the journey for both the audience and for you, because sales is now not getting irrelevant leads because these people are not actually in a buying process. The funnel is dead, use a playground instead. And so we know that people do not go in a nice, neat awareness, consideration, decision journey. And then obviously if you are in SaaS like I am, or a subscription business, that looping journey of it drops them back into awareness. So as we think about designing that journey as a playground, we want to make sure that we're actually mapping it directly to audience intent. And that intent is shown by the next action they're going to take. So as marketers, we tend to want to force people into buy intent actions. So sign up, contact sales, book a demo, access pricing, join an RFP or ask for an RFP if you're a services business. But the reality is not everybody is in a buying process. And so there's these other intents. The language we use is super important. And I think this both from a marketing perspective and just from a life perspective. If we take this idea that we're going to chase a prospect and we're going to capture a lead and we're going to lock down a deal, like, who wants to be chased or captured or locked down? If that's the approach that we have, is this aggressive mindset that you're running away from me and I have to pounce on you. No wonder people are desperately trying to do their research by themselves without an aggressive sales rep. And so from a marketing perspective, what if we thought about starting a relationship, building trust, growing or maintaining a relationship, empowering someone, right? I would much rather be empowered and, grown or thriving rather than pounced on and locked down. And so I think this heavily informs the tactics that we use. And again, this goes back to that trust and really making sure that we're matching that journey and the intent for the audience, not just for what we as marketers want. I look for a new job roughly every 18 months. And people are very surprised by that because I have been at Atlassian for over 7 years. And so it's like, what do you mean you look for a new job every 18 to 24 months, but you've been at the same company for 7 years? If you take a step back and you look at my tenure here, I've actually either changed jobs or changed teams roughly every 2 years. And so this 18-month benchmark is about the time that I personally start to realize it's time for me to think of the next thing. I'm pretty solid where I am. I'm in a good groove. I've got my processes or my systems. I've started to build some good impact. And so as I think about what's next, I realize that I can't immediately go in, especially as I've grown in my career and gotten more senior, I can't immediately go in and be like, I'm ready for the next thing. Well, no, I'm going to have to show that I can cover some new gaps. I might have to take on a stretch project. And so that 18-month time frame allows me to have the headspace to continue doing well in my current role while looking around at what the next thing might be and having those frank conversations with my peers and my manager to say, what gaps in my skills, knowledge, or experience do I have if I want to go over there? And then I realize, okay, it might take me 6 to 12 months to close those gaps. Great. I don't feel a lot of pressure because I'm still good where I am. I have some bandwidth and some headspace to start tackling those gaps. And then by the time I start getting really antsy where I'm like, why haven't I gotten promoted? Or oof, I'm feeling really bored in my current role. Like it's time to make a move. Great. I've had those conversations. My managers and peers have had plenty of time to digest that. They see where I want to go. And I've had time to potentially build skills or experience to solve any gaps.